Everyone, Kristin Walker here, host of Mental Health News Radio and also the founder of Mental Health News Radio Network. I'm here with Sara Navratil. We're doing an after show breakdown from a very intense show we just did on my podcast. You can find it on, like I said, mentalhealthnewsradio.com. And Sara, thanks for coming on, agreeing to do a web share about the powerful show we just did.
Thank you. It's really been great. It's been an amazing experience.
Yeah, it's not enough time to talk about what we went into, but you talked a lot about sexual abuse, having a narcissistic parent, and the journey that takes. But share with our YouTube watchers what technique you use that you broke down really in detail in the podcast for rewriting your story, which doesn't mean denial of what happened.
That's right. So you can actually take an experience that you had, write it out, or in your head, think about it, think about the sequence of it. And then you can stop at a certain point and let your imagination take over and write or imagine whatever comes to your mind that actually brings the truth to yourself instead of the lie you were led to believe. We talked about an experience where I was on the swing set and I saw my dad in the garage. My foster brother was trying to abuse me, and I just wanted my dad to save me, and he didn't. I know that. I understand that. But I rewrote it and let my imagination take over, and he did come save me. And it taught me that I am worthwhile, and I was believable, and I wasn't trapped, that I had choices, and I was loved. So we can take those experiences, even though they are true and real and hurtful and traumatic and awful, we don't have to leave them at the bad movie ending, like Avengers Infinity War. We don't have to leave it there. We can go back and say, let our imagination bring in somebody else, whatever. Your imagination will take over and it will help you to rewrite that experience so that you don't have to stay stuck there.
Right.
If you think about that traumatic experience, you'll think about it differently. Your brain might open up and think of 5 other things that you could have done, 5 other things that could have happened, where you were empowered instead of traumatized
and trapped. Right. So when you're working with clients, because this is what you do, give us, we didn't get into this on the podcast. I wanted to do this here on our webcast. What is it that you do in your business where you're helping people obviously go through situations like you've been through, but break it down for those watching what that business looks like and how you help.
Sure. Well, as I'm starting out, so I have some people that I have helped, even my own kids. This works with children. It's phenomenal. You find what works for that person, what's resonating with them. Would it work for them to write something out, like I sometimes do, and just have them do the rewriting of it, actually physically writing it out or typing it on their computer? That has been very helpful. And the feedback that I've gotten is the same kind of thing that happens for me. So, I know that this works. Obviously, in therapy, it worked too. There's also the tapping techniques that I've learned, that there are 2 of them that can clear pre-verbal trauma from before you learned language, also parental downloads that you just absorb from your parents, and also ancestral trauma that we actually inherit from our ancestors, and that we're living out of all that. And that can just really hold us down. Even yesterday, I just was like, here I'm going to go on this podcast with this famous woman.
Oh God, please. We'll edit that out. I am not famous.
I'm a nobody. And so I tested for that.
No, you're not.
Through self-testing. And I'm like, I'm a nobody. I believe that. And I thought, where's that come from? I checked. It was an ancestral trauma. It answered to ancestral trauma. It's not even mine. And I'm operating out of thinking I'm a nobody. So I cleared it. So that's, there's that one. And then there's also another technique that is called EFTA. It's a modified tapping technique where you just hold your fingers on certain spots and you clear whatever thing is there. So this is fear. This is anger, resentment, and rage. This is anxiety. There's different points that correspond with different feelings. So those are the things that are
Wow.
helping me the most and the people that I help the most. When I do it with my daughter, you can just actually tap their knees so that they have bilateral stimulation, and then let her tell you whatever's coming to her mind. I mean, she's created, you know, this little fork person that helped her. I mean, it's just amazing. And then she'll use art therapy and she'll draw out what she wants to have happen, who she wants to be, or what she wants that to look like. You can use art, you can use drama. There's just so many things that everybody has to find what works for them. I know for me, this Dr. Henry Grayson's TFT and EFTA techniques have been absolutely monumental, especially the last year, for clearing these negative beliefs that I'm not good enough, I'm worthless, I don't deserve good things, there's something wrong with me, I don't have a voice, all those things that we believe as survivors of abuse, of narcissistic parents.
Absolutely. You know, it's so interesting that you bring that up because there's so many paths to healing, as you said. You know, if somebody asked me, well, what was the one thing? I'm like, please, there was this shaman I went to, there was this psychiatrist I went to, there was this commune I lived on for a short while. I mean, there's just so many things, you know, that we do, like to continue on this ever evolving path of healing that is going to happen until you aren't breathing anymore. I mean, that's what life is. You don't arrive at a destination and go, I'm healed now. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And that's part of the fun of the journey, which now I can look at the journey and go, this is now getting fun. It's still really difficult and painful at times because, hello, that's life. But it's fun because I realize I have more control in the journey, which is like, you know, what you're talking about with the rewriting the story. That's so impactful. I'm so grateful that you know, came on to share this, because I don't think that people hear that enough, that they can rewrite it in their own mind, because your brain does believe, you know, what it's like. Be careful what movies you watch. Your brain is going through that trauma that you're seeing on a movie screen. So be really careful what you're tuning into, but it also does with the movie screen that you're playing out in your own head.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I just, you know, just that fun thing, you're so right. I mean, I wouldn't have told you that a year ago. I mean, I've been on my floor, falling my head off. I've been in my car, you know, screaming these things out in utter pain that actually physically hurts your heart. You know, it's like, I don't know if I can actually feel this. It's so, so painful. But it's such a awesome thing that I don't have to live under that anymore. I don't have to think I'm a nobody anymore. I don't have to think that my opinion doesn't matter anymore. I can actually have an opinion. I can actually get a new hairstyle. You know, I can, you know, go to the gym and do what works for me, not what 15 other people told me I should be doing. It's such a freeing, empowering experience. It's like, ooh, good, this is going to be hard. It's going to take me 2 days to recover. But guess what I get to do? I get to do emotional surgery. I get to get this out. I don't have to keep it there anymore.
I love that, emotional surgery. That is awesome. That needs to be a hashtag. That is so,
Yeah.
oh, that's perfect. Okay, tell our listeners, as listeners and YouTubers, please go visit this woman's site. I got so much out of the podcast we just did. I hope you come on again and again, Sara. I know you're getting ready to, you know, do maybe, I think it's a TEDx talk that you're working with Frank King, the mental health comedian. He's coaching you on that. Is that correct?
I haven't been picked yet, but I'll tell you what, I'm applying. So
You will. I will write a recommendation if it helps. If any way I can help make that happen, and I'll if I can be there myself, I'll be there. But tell our listeners and our YouTubers, where can they find more about you?
sure. Because my name is a little hard to pronounce, I decided to use part of my middle name in my website channel. So it's Sara, Sara, Liza, Liza, Life, life.com. And then Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook are all Sara Liza Life also. So you should be able to find that on there. I'm really blossoming in this, so working on putting up videos. I just recorded myself actually doing EFTA the other day to clear something quite traumatic for me. It's kind of funny because my body was just rocking. So I don't, if I'm coming in and out on the screen, that's, but it's, you know, I want people to see the reality of this. It's hard, it hurts, it is emotional surgery, but you can do it. And there are techniques to do it. Whatever works for you, you just try it. Doesn't work, try something else. So saralizalife.com.
Fantastic. And I love what you just said. I'm gonna end this one with this. I love hosting. I love interviewing people. I love the back and forth conversation. And what I love about the fact that it's in this mental health realm is that I don't need to be a perfect host. I can be triggered. I can be upset. I can have my hair look like a chicken like it does today. I can do whatever it is I need to, because I'm not, my work in this realm, being in mental health, is not to portray the perfect host. It's to portray a human being that's been through a lot of shit, that loves to have these kind of conversations with people like you. So I get a nice free pass to play and be my most human self with other authentic people, because I don't also have to worry about, well, is my makeup the right way? Did I say that wrong? Am I being a good host? Of course, I'm not lazy. I'm concerned about those things, but not to the degree of trying to create this perfect viewing or listening experience, because I'm just human, and that's the point of why it is I do what I do. I'm a human being doing this. I just happen to really enjoy doing what I'm doing.
Absolutely. And that vulnerability is so key. I mean, I do not look like this every day. You know,
I kind of look like this every day, but I didn't get dressed.
You know, I'm on my floor, I'm crying. I'm just crying or whatever. Crying is my thing, but not everybody cries, moving around, and it's like, you know what? We just do what we do every day. We just do stuff on the journey, and we get where we are, and we be real about it. This has been hard. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming on. I so appreciate it. And I hope you'll come on again and again.
Thank you. It would be my pleasure. Thank you so much for interviewing me.
Listeners, thank you for tuning in. YouTubers, subscribe. We've got great content. We're doing a lot more of these after show webcasts so that you can put a face, to the voice that you've heard for, well, at least mine, 6 years now. So we're doing more and more of these. And it took me getting out of my little protective bubble of I will never be on camera to, okay, fine, I'll be on camera now. So thank you for joining us, and we'll catch you on the next show.